Hello everyone. So first of all, a very happy Engineers Day to all of you. And yeah, so this is a part of Engineers Fest which we conduct each year. This time we were not able to do much with Engineers Fest because of like the resource constraints, or we were busy with some other things. But we have managed to, in the end, at least have two speakers for you at Engineers Connect, and those two are some amazing speakers which we have lined up for you. And yeah, so we have Mr. Deacon Danny with us. Okay, so he's a very innovative person. I know him personally. He is the head of innovation of I4C, which is Interinstitutional Inclusive Innovation Center. So there are a lot of good stuff happening under I4C, and he had said I personally know the hackathons which he has conducted, and there are various hackathons which go under I4C, and he'll be sharing the insights on it. He just told me that he's going to arrange something big for like in the coming days. He's also the director of India Blockchain Alliance, and he's the CEO of a co-working space called Bootstart. So maybe you have come across some of the branches of Bootstart. So he's the CEO of it, and he is very much actively involved in the startup ecosystem, and he has a lot of insights into the startup world, as well as he can also provide you with value regarding to internships or hackathons. So there is much more to introduce about him, but I'll hand over the stage to him and he can take it over from there. Thank you, Deacon.
Yeah. Thanks, Bhushan. Thank you for that. Happy Engineers Day to everybody on this podcast today, and I wish you all the very best. As Bhushan said, my name is Deacon. I've been in the industry for about 20 odd years, out of which 18 have been where I had a career as a banker. I've been a retail banker for the better part of my life. And then 2 years ago, the entrepreneurship bug hit me. And I thought to myself that I wanted to be more involved in the space of edtech rather than Byju's and Upgrad and Coursera. I want to do something which is very niche in the field of innovation. And what better way to do anything innovative than to run strategic ideas through college students, through working professionals, and through school children. Thus was born the genesis of I4C. So I will be sharing my slide right now. I will take you through a small 12, 13 slides of I4C. It's a capacity deck of ours which I created. Post that, we can have a discussion around hackathons, around internships, and around basically innovation in general. So I told Bhushan, let's keep it as an AMA. You can ask me whatever you want, because even though I'm a director for India Blockchain Alliance, I'm just an alliance guy over there. I am not a techie. I'm a co-working CEO. So anything you need to ask me about co-working, I would request you not to ask me today. But anything with regard to innovation, strategy, internships, hackathons, in general, ideathons, you could please ask me whatever you want. So Bhushan, I'll just share my screen just a second. Just please let me know if it's visible to you. Is my screen visible? Bhushan, is it visible?
Yeah, it is visible. You can just do it full screen. Yeah, now it is full screen as
Okay,
well.
fantastic. So, guys, this is a bit about I4C, our corporate deck. So, about I4C, what is our vision? Basically, developing your ideas into high value products and technologies that will have the power to impact lives. What is our mission? We are committed, very deeply committed, to building an ecosystem that supports and promotes disruptive technology innovation in India. And one of the classic examples is blockchain. We are one of the few players right now who's working hardcore in blockchain. I just finished an event with Binance. Bhushan was part of that event in my outreach. We did a beautiful activity for Binance. We are right now working with a very large company called NPCI. I'm sure most of you heard about NPCI. NPCI is a payments company owned by the government of India. And we're also going to be working on health tech and blockchain very, very soon with MIT. So we've realized that blockchain is the future. We've realized that now blockchain is a very niche technology, and we want to support disruptive technology innovation in blockchain at this very moment of time. So we are a not-for-profit company. So we are incorporated as a Section 8 firm. So even though I head innovation, I'm a consultant. It's not my day job. I do my work in I4C because I love it. I love when the students smile. I love when the school children get their awards and send me a thank you message. I love when their parents call up and say, thank you so much for encouraging my child to do something different. I love it when working professionals come and say, "You've made my quality of life a little better." I think that's what the ethos of I4C stands for, is disruptive innovation. So, as I said, our purpose is to manifest your latent ideas into commercial products that can benefit humanity in general and help solve India's real life problems. Why do we talk about India in general? The genesis of I4C is going back 5 years. We were started under the aegis or blessings of Dr. Anand Deshpande, who is the founder of Persistent Systems. Dr. Anand Deshpande wanted to create a platform for engineering students where he wanted them to get the best out of innovation. And he said that there's nothing right now. It's a lacuna which is unable to be fulfilled. So he took the stand and he launched Smart India Hackathon. As you know, Smart India Hackathon is a yearly affair right now. For the first 3 years, it was run with Persistent and I4C. But for the last 2 years, it has been run with AICTE, MHRDA, Persistent, and I4C. Earlier, we were a very major part of Smart India Hackathon, but right now we are working as event partners. We work on delivery, we work on nodal center creation, we work on mentors, evaluators, and we work on logistics as well. Our knowledge of hackathons and ideathons is very, very legendary. In fact, I'll give you a small brief. The Guinness Book of World Records was approached by us because we wanted to actually put up Smart India Hackathon as the world's largest hackathon platform. However, Guinness Book of World Records came to us and said, guys, we really can't do this because India has the benefit of a large population. So if we were to create a Guinness Book of World Record for you for the largest hackathon, no other country would be able to beat it, right? Last year, in fact, this year, we had 10 lakh students. This year, we had 15,000 winners. This year, we had 75 nodal centers. This year, we had 380 mentors and evaluators. I was one of the nodal centers heads at GH Raizoni in Nagpur, which is the Autonomous Engineering College. And guys, trust me, we were coding for 30 hours. People were on the laptops. Boys, girls were sleeping on the desk, getting up, working, sleeping again, calling out to us. We were also sleeping next door. They were like, "Sir, can you get up and just support us? Support them on the initiative, support them on the changes, and then go back to sleep." So what are we? We are a full service platform. So we collaborate with experts to create products and services. Now, these experts could be college students, they could be working professionals, they could also be evaluators from outside, or corporate companies who want to fix bugs and who want to fix problems which they're currently having in their go-to-market products. So maybe Ola electric scooter, for example, and this is a real life example, kept bursting into flames, right? So there was an issue with the battery pack. So they launched an internal hackathon, Ola, and they got out a solution as to why the battery pack was actually heating up. So the battery was kept very close to the seat. What happened was when the rider used to ride, the seat used to go on the battery, and the friction used to come, and therefore the battery used to erupt. Very, very small innovation, but that's how it works, right? You need to look at the practical aspect of innovation. Innovation is not just technology, it's not just coding, it's looking at something from a very different angle. You're closing one eye and looking at something. Does it look different? If it does, then guys, you are innovating. So how do we engage? What do we do as I4C? One, we have a large, and I boast not, Bhushan knows also, we have a large database of education institutions. All the engineering colleges, medical colleges, tech colleges, IITs, IIMs are tied up with us. We offer a mentoring program as well. This mentoring program is given within the hackathon, and we also have a mentoring program which is without the hackathon, where we conduct webinars called Gyan Class, where we call industry speakers to talk about different aspects on the startup ecosystem, the startup journey, on funding, on digital marketing, on coding, on how to raise capital, how to choose a good co-founder, stuff that is important for a young startup today when he wants to start up his business. We help them with the final commercial product as well. So the go-to-market strategy is usually cleaned out by us. The go-to-market strategy is shined by us. And how do we do this? We have a list of large amount of evaluators and mentors globally. And again, I kid you not. So we have more than 350 mentors globally on I4C. So, we can reach out to them on LinkedIn, and, they will come to us purely because they know of the good work that we do. There is no question of payment given over here. We do support them initially if we ask them to do something extra, but otherwise it's pure goodwill. And we are tied up with a lot of venture capitalists. So we are tied with 100x VC, Pentathlon, Spring Capital, where if you have a good idea which has come out of our hackathon, we give it to them. We also have a tie-up with a lot of incubators. So if you look at Bao is tied up with us. Pune University, CIL is tied up with us. We tied up with IIT Powai as well. We tied up with Parul University as well. I'm tied up with Amity University, Amity Incubator as well. So we have a large amount of collaborations where if you need incubation, we can provide it to you. And one of the benefits where I sit, and if you notice, I sit on both sides of the world, right? I handle co-working and I handle innovation. These kids, once they start their own business, they need co-working space. And in a co-working space, I also need innovative clients. Therefore, when somebody wants incubation, somebody wants assistance, the co-working alliances that we have help us to delve deeper and provide support from both sides. So when I say that we are 360-degree, I mean it. This is how we are. All of you could go onto my LinkedIn profile and also understand the way that we operate. So how do we engage? So we screen the innovators. Innovators are you, the people who come out with the solutions for certain problem statements. We select the mentors. So as I said, we have a pool of 350, 400 mentors globally. We provide trainings and workshops. Now these trainings and workshops obviously are not physical right now because of COVID, but we do a lot of sessions where we do one-to-one, one to some, or one to many. These platforms are either through Zoom or through Team. And then we weed out the people at the semi-final stage. So if I have 500 entries, I'll probably have five criteria for getting these people into the semi-finals. Form, factor, go-to-market, cost, scalability. Right? So all these are the most important things. Form is how does your product look? Cost, how expensive it is to produce, right? Is it scalable, your product? Okay, what is your go-to-market strategy? That's very, very important. And then if all these criteria are met by you and you have an average rating of 3.5 and more, because the average rating is 5, so 1 point per rating, then you go into the finals. And once you get into the final stage is where we actually put you in touch with mentors. So one mentor will be assigned to maybe four teams cutting across different problem statements. And he'll be spending time with them and helping them get the idea into an execution stage. And that's how we actually operate as a hackathon. So a few of the past projects we've done under I4C. So we've done Digital Pune Hackathon 2015, SI 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020. 2020 was, again, we did a smart school hackathon as well. And this year we've done 2022 Smart India Hackathon. What else have we done? So as I said, we've done Smart School Hackathon, again, Goa edition. We've done a lovely, lovely hackathon for school children with an American company called Moonshot Junior. So this basically is a company which is a board game which allows you to think on critical skills on how to make things better. And these board games are very, very expensive. They cost an average of $500 for a board game. And this company gave a lot of board games absolutely free to all these school students. It was a very, very fantastic event. I have mentioned to you about a webinar series, which is Gyan Class. We talk about startup journey decoding, ideation, go-to-market, and funding. So the project in progress right now, what you talked about is Smart India Hackathon. It just culminated. So my apologies, my my data is not up to date right now because I just wanted to share this with you today. But this is what we've done. So how it works: problem statement which has been released by ministries. So different ministries. So for example, I went to Nagpur and I was dealing with the Ministry of Culture. The Ministry of Culture is a ministry which looks after all the old buildings. So basically the Archaeological Survey of India. So basically how to create a VR environment, how to redo whatever monuments we have which are crumbling, which cannot be fixed, onto the metaverse. How to create an interactive experience between me as a tourist and the VR on the metaverse. Language, purchase, and delivery. So for example, I want to take a picture with the Taj Mahal, but I'm not at the Taj Mahal, right? I'm at the ASI museum or I'm sitting somewhere in Pune. Can I use that technology to actually have the Taj Mahal behind me? Or can I play a game where I can actually go through the Taj Mahal, I can visit the domes, I can visit the gardens, I can actually sit over there. I may not be able to smell the flowers, but I could sit amongst the roses. I could sit near the water. I could even go for a ride on the canoe. So those are the things we had. And trust me, we had brilliant, brilliant ideas. We had an archaeological survey game also where people were encouraged to create a game. So you go through level 1, level 2, you take a little bit of a pickaxe. In level 1, a pickaxe is very small, like Mario or Super Brothers, Super Mario. and then you collect coins on the way, and your pickaxe gets better, and then you can dig deeper, and the more gold that you get, the more powerful you can buy stuff from the store, and then you can anticipate picking up more and more treasures. So this is how it works. Students submit the proposals, evaluation and selection of finalists, and then the Smart India Hackathon finals happen at the nodal centers. So the nodal center is the center where I was. So all the teams which came to the nodal center were the teams which actually were the finalists. And from those finalists, we had to choose one winning team per problem statement. It was a very fantastic, fantastic environment. We've also done a beautiful event right now recently, just culminated. It's called ARI Technovist Mobility Hackathon, where we were talking about safe, sustainable, and smart mobility solutions for Bharat. So basically, how to prevent your lights from blinding people on the road, how to make sure you can charge your car, electric car, on the highway itself. Can we put electric gate, stuff like that? Very, very interesting ideas. Then we had Binance Ideathon Blockchain for Good, where for the first time in history, Binance, which is a foreign company, has come to India, and they launched Binance Academy, which is basically blockchain for dummies. And they gave all the students who participated, all the engineering students who participated, access to Binance Academy and access to Binance Blidders as well. Instead of builders, they say Blidders, right? And all these kids got an opportunity to work on amazing problem statements. So we talked about land deed records, metaverse for tourism, pushing medical content through blockchain. More importantly, how do you use prepaid cards for cross-border currency for medical tourism? And the list goes on. We had some fantastic ideas. Binance had a Binance Live session at the end of the hackathon. So we chose about 10 winners from I4C, but out of that, only 6 top winners got prizes in excess of $2,000 each and a chance to get internship with Binance. So I think 2 teams have also got internship with Binance, and maybe one team is getting a job offer from them as well. So hackathons are a very, very important way of getting you job ready, because there's a technology, you're working on a technology, you're coming to the attention of a company which is promoting the technology. It's a win-win situation for you. So I would suggest to everybody on this call, please participate in as many hackathons and ideathons as you can. So my upcoming projects are, we are doing a technical hackathon in Nasik. We're doing a smart school hackathon with a company called Guruji World, which is basically into tier 2 and tier 3 cities. So we're looking at the lower end of spectrum of the children, because we find that they're very, very intelligent, the children, but they don't have access to the same possibilities that children in metro cities do. And we have the new activity with NPCI, which is actually ongoing. So what is the roadmap? To provide a platform for cross-functional teams to work closely with innovative companies like Binance, ARI, NPCI, and to collaborate with edtech startups and institutes to conduct seminars for students, teachers, innovators. So, for example, Bhushan has an MOU with me. So I reach out to Bhushan whenever we need any support for any event. The same way we always tell Bhushan to reach out to us, because both of our target segments are the same, right? So Bhushan helps engineering students get internships, get jobs. I have a base of engineering students, so we can work wonders together. And then we partner with incubators and provide curated content on entrepreneurship, innovation, ecosystem enablement, and much more. These are a few of our partners, so I'm sure that many of you guys know the company. So IBA is India Blockchain Alliance, MHRDA, which is Innovation Cell, KIT, which is Jalgaon, CIL, which is basically in Pune University, Symbiosis Center for Entrepreneurship on the Highway, ARAI, Guruji World, Moonshot, AWS. So I do a lot of work with AWS, JU Incubator as well, Sumasoft, Ideas to Impact, Persistent, Snapper, Binance. The list goes on and on. So that's it about I4C. So now I'm open for you guys to ask me any questions. If you have any questions which related to the slide which I shared with you, please do let me know. Otherwise, ask me whatever.
Yeah. Hi, Deacon. Very brief and informative session. Yeah. So the questions they can put in the chat, but before the session itself, we like rolled out a form to get some questions from them. Okay. So we do have that questions which I'll ask you, as well as if we get it in the chat, we'll have it too. So since this is a YouTube recorded session, so there is one question right now. So you can see it on the screen, right?
Basically, which programming language should we focus on more? So I don't think that there's any one right answer for that. So I don't know if the person who asked the question is on the group right now. So maybe you want to probably ask me a more
No, it is
detailed
on the group.
question. So
It's
for
a
example,
live question. It's a live question.
okay.
Yeah.
So I think right now what's happening is, this is my personal opinion and my 2 cents for you. Most of the people today are looking at blockchain as a very big niche platform. So all of you know, blockchain works on closed loop, right? There's a closed loop network. So there are two kinds of networks, right, in closed loop. One is a public network and one is a private network. The private network is known as an enterprise network. The public network is a network which can be used by anybody, right? So those networks that are used by anybody are not very profitable networks, and those are usually used by government agencies or large organizations. When you look at closed loop networks, which is basically enterprise blockchain, trade forex, retail banking, supply chain logistics, I think you should look at those kind of technologies. What can you do within blockchain? Blockchain is the future. So no matter the way you look at it today, maybe 1 year from now you might find to saying that there are maybe 10,000 jobs available in India for blockchain. But let me tell you, the storm is coming. The kind of work that we're doing at NPCI, the kind of stuff that we've seen from Binance, the storm is coming. Next 3 years, blockchain is the hottest trend today. And guys who are earning and working in blockchain companies will start at salaries like 10, 15 lakhs to start with. And that could go up exponentially depending on the degree of information that they have in their respective languages. So, yes, I think we should focus on blockchain.
Yeah, right. So yeah, so this, yeah, so this is a question which is also there in the back end in the forms wherein people ask us about the expertise we should have to get into hackathons, because they feel that at the end of the hackathon they should have something to deliver. Okay, so because they feel that like when they are in the college they are not to that level where they can execute stuff, or so this are like mostly this question is aimed at can everyone participate into the hackathon.
No, so again, what is the question? You're asking me post hackathon, what happens?
No, no, they are like they feel there's an entry barrier to get into hackathons wherein they should have expertise into a particular coding language or so.
No, 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 not at all. Not at all.
Right.
Just to share with you, um, so I am also working with a company to build a blockchain course. So we tied up with Chitkara University, we're talking to Parul University, we're even talking to VIT in Pune. Uh, but the problem is, right now we have a lot of people who are showing interest for these courses, but we don't have any interest from corporates who want to hire them, because as I said to you, today blockchain is more mom and pop shops, right? So it's very small teams of 8 and 10 people who then outsource their work to other companies, or they hire individuals and freelancers to work on it, because blockchain is still not taking 100% steam in India. But in time to come now, larger entities like TCS, HCL. In fact, I met up with the HCL center head, Bhushan, in Nagpur, and he mentioned to me that we are going to be hiring 4,000 more people in Nagpur. Today, TCS has 14,000 people in Nagpur. You will not believe that. TCS is the largest employer in Nagpur. HCL has 4,000. In the next 2 years, HCL wants to have 15,000 people, out of which 60% of them will have delivery across blockchain, enterprise blockchain. So I think
Oh,
if you're an engineering student and you have the basics right, blockchain is a language that you can easily get into. And when I say blockchain, now, so blockchain is a culmination of different things, right? So you have
right.
metaverse, you have your DeFi, right? You have a lot of stuff in blockchain. It's not just that blockchain is something which needs to be learned. There are multiple factors in blockchain which could actually pave the way for you growing your career. So, for example, metaverse by itself is a large industry. So, metaverse is now being used for gaming. Metaverse is being used for tourism. Today, you saw Hyundai has launched a car on the metaverse, right or wrong? Titan has launched a showroom
Right,
of
right,
watches on the metaverse. Um,
right.
this company just launched. Which company is this? I don't know the name. A very very famous company. They launched a clothing store on the metaverse. And what they're saying is that if you buy a shirt or a pant from us, you'll get an NFT also of your product as well, which can be traded with us for a 10% discount on your next purchase. So they're doing a lot of fun stuff on the metaverse. We need a lot of people right now to work on the metaverse. When I say I could
Exactly.
say React JS is a good programming language, but apart from that, look at the bigger picture, guys. look at the advent of blockchain, which is going to be the future for us. And I say this with a lot of, a little bit of attitude because I am working in this space right now. I am seeing the demand for people in this space right now. And this demand is coming from places where you never thought. So, like the government is looking at blockchain. So, the Ministry of Culture is looking at blockchain. So, what is the AR, VR, metaverse? It's through blockchain only. So they are looking at blockchain, such an old state organization like the Archaeological Survey of India. They are looking at blockchain solutions. So what are we waiting for?
Yeah, I think Nike has also done something of that sort, right?
Yes, Nike's
Nike.
done something as well.
Right, right, right.
Nike
Yeah,
shoes, yeah. Shoes.
right. So there is this question by Siraj Akhtar. Yeah, so you can.
Unemployment, IT jobs, less salary, more priority for beginners. Why this happens? So I'll tell you,
This.
Siraj, let me tell you something. Um, Today, the largest amount of people who pass out are engineering students. And if you go functionally, because I'm a banker, I'm a BA economics student, right? I didn't waste my time doing engineering and then move into banking. A lot of engineering students are bankers today. Why? Why do banks choose them? Because they have an analytical frame of mind. They think with process orientation. They are not good sales guys, but they're good product guys. They're good backend guys. They're good operation guys. So you need to figure out why are you talking about unemployment? If you feel that you cannot get a good engineering job, there are a lot of design companies out there who are looking for freshers. If you look at most of the large companies, Cars 24, it's a used car marketplace, right? They are hiring big time on LinkedIn, guys. If you just go to Cars 24 and you go to the website, you will see the amount of ads that are there for engineers, for product designers, for design thinking guys, for coding level guys at the entry level. So many people are there. If you go into the banking sector, you go to Bajaj FinServ, you go to Bajaj Finance. All these guys are looking for entry level jobs in data analytics. All you need to do, Siraj, is you need to understand which side of the world you want to go to and you need to upskill yourself, right? So if you want to do a job in data analytics, do a 2 month course in Upgrad, do a 3 month course in Coursera. It won't cost you much, but it will start you. And once you get the job, then you will learn on the job, right? That's how most people started. Data analytics is not a field which is taught in college today. It is a field which is learned. And that is why it is paid very, very highly. So I hope I answered that
Right,
question.
right. And I don't think that there is a lot of like less opportunities right now because I am into that space where I continuously keep on getting
Absolutely.
requirements for internships. It's just that they're not able to find the right talent. So that is not happening because the graph is going to go up at least for IT, which I know. And I think if you are skilled enough, your college or all these things wouldn't matter.
Absolutely. You need to be
Yeah,
skilled, right?
right.
So there's one company which is the IoT company which is into prop tech in my Bootstrap co-working. You won't believe it, guys.
Oh, okay.
They had 16 seats for me for the last 2 years. Now they've asked me to give them 150 seats because they've hired about 90 people, and those people are sitting at home. They've got so
Okay.
many projects on IoT, Internet of Things, right? And they're hiring entry level engineers at 4 lakhs, 8 lakhs salary. Now, you can sit and cry and say that, okay, you know what, I didn't get this job. But then understand now, when you go for an interview, you also need to be presentable. You need to speak well. So maybe you need to figure out, instead of upskilling yourself, maybe you need to figure out on your personal hygiene, your personal demeanor, your dressing sense. These are very, very important. Earlier, it used to matter what college you passed out of. Now it matters how you present yourself, right? Because the person who might be hiring you might be just 1 or 2 years older than you, right? So you need to be very,
Right,
very
right.
clear. Earlier it was like experience counts. A guy who's 45 will hire a guy who's 25. But today, people who are 30 years old are hiring guys who are 45. Right? So you gotta look at it that way.
Right, right. So Siraj, since I am into this space, so there are no less jobs. I don't know about less salary, but yeah, there are a lot of jobs. You just go like be presentable and reach at the right place with the right skills, and yeah, you'll have it because I am seeing it. Yeah. So this is a question from Deepak Vishwakarma: How to crack product-based company?
Okay, so Deepak, I just mentioned that, right? So a product-based company could be a company which is either into B2B or B2C. So when you say how to crack a product-based company, could you just be a little more specific on that? I'm not able to understand much from the question. So if you're online,
Right,
can you just tell me a little bit more? What do you mean
right,
by
right.
crack a product-based company?
Right. So like I can try to elaborate what he's trying to ask. So basically, this people who are like graduates or engineers, they feel like most of the jobs are into service based companies, right? And then
Correct.
going into specific product based company is somewhat difficult for them, or you can say core companies or product based companies. So maybe he's asking the tips and tricks like how we can or get a job into those companies,
So there are just two types of companies, right? There's a B2B and there's a B2C, right? So
right?
both these companies actually have product-based roles. And if you get a
Right.
product-based role either in a B2B or a B2C, it doesn't really matter, you know. Your strength lies in the product design that you do. So how to crack a product-based company? As I said earlier in the last call, in the last question as well, you need to spend some time to understand what the company wants. For example, we have Cars 24, which is hiring big time. Correct? You have a company called Elastic Run, which is a very big supply chain logistic company who are hiring product managers left, right, and center. I know my friend is the head of HR for Elastic Run. So, how to crack it? You can't crack it. You have to go there and you have to deliver on the promise of what they're looking for. When you go to any product based company, one thing they know you don't know anything about the job at hand. All they need to
Right.
understand is, are you analytical? Do you follow process? Are you presentable? Can you speak well? And more importantly, do you have clarity of thought? That's very important. There's no secret sauce for going into a product based company. I was a telecom guy. I immediately got a job in a bank. And now people say, "Are getting a banking job is the most best thing in the world because your life is set." I left my banking job 2 years
Right.
ago. Okay, great. Right? It's a different time for everybody. But cracking a product based role, there's no such thing as cracking. It's about what do you want to do? Do you want to work in a product based company? Then there's so many product based companies, right? You can go for logistics, you could go for fintech, you could go for automotive, you could go for furniture. So let me ask you, what type of product based company have you thought about?
Right.
Right. So let
Yeah.
be a little more specific with the question,
Right.
guys.
So maybe I don't know if he's on the call, but there are things like not if we replace product by core companies, so you must be knowing that there are very few core companies like it can be Tata or it can be Siemens, right? So which provide jobs to mechanical and ENTC engineers, right? So the intake over there is their first priority is to get into core companies, and then the second priority is to switch to IT. So maybe I think this is in that way as well, like how to get into core companies. But then again, I think the answer would be same which you already gave, right?
Absolutely.
Right. So that's what the answer. Like, if you want to get core companies, you have to be on the top in your academic skills and everything.
Yeah, yeah,
Because,
absolutely.
yeah, because I have seen that top 5 to 10% absolutely make to the core companies if you want to get into Siemens, Tata, or Cisco, right? So, yeah, so there's no
So
any.
Amdocs just hired recently for 22 lakhs a fresher. 22
Right,
lakhs for a fresher. Engineering.
right,
A girl. I met this
right.
girl. I met this girl. She was one of the evaluators for us in Nagpur. Nothing great
Okay.
about her, but when she opened her mouth, she was very smart.
Right,
She wasn't very great at her coding, but she was a very smart girl. She was very sorted, yeah. You need to be
right,
sorted, guys. You know,
right.
I'm speaking from
That's
real
very
world. If I have to hire somebody, I won't care which college you come from. I care that you can make a impression on me and know how to do your work. That's all I
right,
expect
right,
from you. Nothing.
right. So this is like generic question from Kajal Yadav where she's asking like are internships more beneficial for further studies?
Of course, internships are beneficial for further studies because internships, see, Kajal, if you look at internships, right, internships are basically real world solutions being given to you at the company cost. So today, as an intern, you could make a mistake, you could do well, you could earn the company money, you could also lose the company money, but you're an intern for 3 months. Your job over there is to inculcate the atmosphere that is being given to you. Your job is to see how real world applications of your technology that you've studied for 4 or 5 years can be utilized. And let me be very honest with you. Most of what you guys will have studied or are studying are not applicable in the real world, right? I think you all know that. 80% of the things you'll be doing in the future will be on Excel,
Right, right,
right? You need to use an internship as a way to say that, for example, I do my internship in a fintech company, like the boy who was talking about product based company. Maybe fintech is not for me. Maybe I should go to stock market. Maybe I should go to an automotive company. Maybe I should go to Pepperfry. So you can use internships to actually pave the way for your own career growth. So I interned a girl who was working with Bain and Company. She was at Bain and Company. She worked remotely for me for 4 months. Bhushan, that girl was so intelligent. She was so intelligent because she had interned at Bain and Company, which is one of the largest consulting firms in the world. Before
right,
I asked her anything, she had the answer. Right? She knew
right.
what she was doing. And she knew that after
Right.
this, she wanted to go back. I think she's working with JP Morgan right now. So internships help you pave the way for your future career. It's very, very important to get an internship in a good company, or at least in a company which suits you. If you want to work in edtech, go for Coursera, go for Upgrade, do an internship. People are hiring interns left, right, and center.
Right, right, and since the inclusion of startups, the internship has been increased because we as a startup have more than like 10 interns. Why? Because startups want to do things budget friendly. So right now
Yep.
the want for internships is like a lot, right? But I think Deacon, what she's also trying to ask is for further studies, maybe for higher studies, is what she wanted to ask.
Yeah,
Like,
correct. Yeah. So internships are very important for higher studies as well because it will tell you
right,
what is your lacuna, what you're missing out on, right? What maybe
right,
more things you need to grasp. For example, um, my better half, she was working for a company called Persistent, and after that, she did her PhD. Like she's in her 30s, but she just started doing a PhD. Why? Because she realized that she wanted to get a PhD in marketing, right? She realized that the
mm,
lacuna was there. She was not able to deliver well in her role, so she wanted more knowledge in that. So if she at her in the age of 30s can go and get a PhD for herself, I'm sure that people like you would definitely use internships as a stepping stone to point in the right direction to go for higher studies or not. You might decide to do a master's. You might decide to do one more diploma course. You can decide to do whatever you want. But definitely, internships are important to do, regardless of the outcome. You must intern, guys. Everybody should intern.
right,
And
right,
if you
right.
don't get money also, and don't get stipend also, it's okay. Go and intern. The learning experience is very high.
Right, right, right. So those are the reviews which we get from the people who complete their internships with us. They tell us that, sir, over here it's totally different, and over in the college it's totally different. So that's what
Yeah,
you get to feel the real world jobs, and you will have a higher hand when you go for further studies, or you will have an intention of how to look at things after internship, right? Because
correct.
the mentality and mindset in college is totally different of what you will go and work for a company. Yeah. So this is a last question we can take with respect to time is from Hasif Mansoor Ahmed, like how to start as a structural designer. So
I can't answer
yeah.
that question because that's too technical for me.
Right, right, right. So even I am not much into that domain, or I don't know about it. So yeah, we
Sorry,
cannot add.
Hafiz, I can't answer that question for you. But I can get back to you if you want.
Yeah, so we cannot add much value to that question, but of course, one opinion is to Google it. But yeah, so we will be sharing the LinkedIn link of Deacon in the chat. So if you want to connect with him, you can connect with him, and yeah, we can have a further round of discussion with him. Right.
So I'm
So
also looking for interns for the NPCI hackathon, guys. So if anybody wants to do internship with me for 2 to 3 months, please ping us and let us know. And this will be
right, right.
unpaid internships, but you'll learn a lot.
Right. So, with respect to that, there was a question, but I did not want to point it out, wherein some guy is saying that please provide me a job offer.
Job for day,
Kadela.
but I can give you internship.
Yeah, right. Maybe
Bhushan, I want
he.
to ask you one question. I want to ask you one question. I mean, honestly, uh, I am seeing a very disturbing trend, right? So people in the metros, people in the tier two cities like even Pune, Hyderabad, Lucknow, Bareilly, Mohali, we have a lot of engineers coming out of these places as well. They don't struggle so much to get jobs because I think there's a lot of things for them to do. So if they can't get a job in a traditional engineering firm, they can go into a product design firm. They can go into a software company. Correct? They can go into a
Right.
fintech firm. They have like hundreds of startups available to them. I
Right.
think these questions more come from people at the tier 3 or tier 4 cities
Okay.
where probably the opportunities are not so high. I think that understanding level is not that great. That I think if they want to search for a job, they need to probably filter the places they want to search for a job. So if you're from
Right.
Jalgaon or you're from Aurangabad, the chance of you getting a job in your own city is very, very remote, correct? And if you want to go to a city like Pune or Bombay, guys, you'll have to up your game. You'll have to really up your game. Your personal presence, your brand, the way you look, the way you talk, these are important factors. Form over function. Today, all of us spend 4 years or 5 years in our college in terms of engineering. Some of us do our MBA as well. But many of us don't get our dream job. Why is that? Have you ever stopped to ask yourself that why is that? It is the reason because we are not prepared to take a risk. We just take whatever's given to us. And then we are stuck in mediocrity, right? So if you're from a smaller town, say you're from Nasik, you're from Sangamner, the talent there is awesome. I have seen it myself. If you're from Nagpur, Nagpur has some amazing talent, some amazing children. But if they want a good job in Nagpur, okay, forget Nagpur. Nagpur is still okay because HCL, TCS is there. But other places like Sangamner or Nasik, it's very tough unless you join a BPO or a KPO. Are you, all of you on this call, are you guys willing to take the effort to come down to a metro, sacrifice your personal life to make your career that much better? Because the real good jobs are here. They're in Hyderabad, they're in Bangalore, they're in Mumbai, they're in Pune. For
Right. Right.
that,
Right.
for that, you to actually get into the same level as a boy or girl who's passed out of a Pune institute. They are flashy. They come from Pune. They speak well. They have the confidence because their families are here. You have to face off against them. So there's a lot of personal introspection you guys need to do for that. You
Right.
all,
Right.
I hire people from Ahmedabad, Gujarat. I've had people from up north also. I give everybody a chance, but then I only give them a chance if they make an effort. And every employer now, he only wants this, guys. He wants you to make an effort here. There's no entitlement over here. Please don't be entitled. If I'm an engineer, the chances of me getting a job are zero. But if I'm an engineer with a good disposition, I speak well, I dress well, I'm firm in my voice, I can look in the eye and talk to my superior, or I can talk well in my interview, chance of me getting a job is very, very high. So
Right. Right.
please
Right.
work on this aspect.
Right.
Personal grooming
So,
is very important, guys.
yeah, so thank you for mentioning this point because we have been going through this a lot wherein there are great job opportunities with good package, but people are not willing to relocate. Even though they don't have a job offer in hand. Like I have seen examples, we placed two people at the freshers, and that too from a tier 3 college at 5 LPA into a big LG, right? And the location was Bangalore. But these people rejected the job offer just because of the location. So I am also really like not much with the point that why these
But
people are
that's the
preferring
truth, right? That's
location.
exactly what's happening today.
Right.
That's exactly what's happening today.
Right. So there was a requirement from Chennai for there are about 50 engineers, but still, like people are not interested to relocate to Chennai. So as a fresher, I think you should have this attitude, like at least for the 1 or 2 years at the start, you should go explore and get that opportunity instead of settling down in Pune with a not that good job or so. Yeah, I'm not much into this. I don't know the exact reasons for this, but this is what we have gone through, right? But
So I'll
that's
tell
why.
you my story. In 2010, in 2008, because of a promotion, I moved to Kolhapur. I moved to a city called Kolhapur. Someone like me who could not speak Marathi. And I
Right.
did it because it was advancing my career. And when I came back,
Right.
then went to Nasik. And then I went to Goa. And then I went to Bombay. That's how my career grew. That's how my salary grew. You guys have to take the opportunities given to you. Sitting in Jalgaon, you won't get 5 lakh rupees. No way.
Right.
So you need to be very clear on what is your end game. So Bhushan,
Right.
I think you're absolutely right. Spot on.
Right. Right. So yeah, so there are some more questions, but they are on the similar lines which you have already answered. And again, we have a session at 6 p.m., so we cannot take much more questions. But yeah, I have provided Deacon's LinkedIn link in the chat, as well as I will be putting that link in the WhatsApp group where you all are a part of. So most of you must not be seeing the session right now, but you will ask for the recordings and get it from us. So at that same time, we'll also provide you the link. And if you have any questions, I personally know him, so I can forward that questions to him. Okay. So yeah, thank you so much, Deacon. Like we did this very much at the last moment, and you were there to give us this time. And I also found a
Sure.
lot of value into this session, and mostly when we circulate this video around, we will be getting many of it. Yeah. Thank you so much, Deacon,
Thank
for
you
your
so much,
time.
guys. Thank you,
Yes.
Bhushan. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Have a nice
Yeah.
day.
And
Bye
if
bye.
there's any I4C link, you pass it to me. I'll pass it to them if you want. I4C link or anything which you want to send it to them, I can send it to them on the chat as well as on the group.
And type it now.
Yeah, you can type it.
That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so
Okay.
much, Deacon,
Thank
for
you.
your time. Have a good day.